And we are on air.
Hi guys, my name is Brianna, and today I'm going to be giving you some Netflix show recommendations. So let's get right into the video. Okay, the first show I want to recommend is The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It's a really good show. I mean, incredible acting, and the storyline is so good, and it's like real horror, but for people who don't like horror, I guess, because I don't like horror stuff, but I loved it, so I definitely recommend it. The second one I want to recommend is Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things. I feel like it's a show that's for everybody. It's for younger kids, teenagers, adults, parents, cops, literally anybody, whoever you are, whatever your background is, and whatever you have to deal with in life, there's some way for you to connect to the show, and I think that's awesome. Another show I want to recommend is The End of the Effing World. It's a really good show, and I feel like it really showcases different types of mental illness and how each person's situation can be and how it can change, but it shows it in such a funny way and a crazy, adventurous way, and I just think it's a really good show. Speaking of mental health and mental illness and showcasing that in shows, the next one I want to recommend is Atypical. I love that show. The actors are incredible. I think they do a really good job at portraying what it's like having mental illness and dealing with your friends or family having it and the struggles, and it also at the same time has so many other storylines that weave into it that it's like, okay, yes, this is a show about an autistic kid, but it shows that there's so much more to life even when you are autistic. So I think that that's incredible. Then this show is one that I actually watched recently. I binged the whole thing even though it's been out for years now. Is Lucifer. It has so many seasons and it's so good. I really like it. I definitely recommend it. It's an interesting show because it's not something you'd ever expect, but definitely recommend it. Okay, speaking of shows that are kind of like twists on religion, another show I want to recommend is The Good Place. Really good show. It's such an interesting way to talk about heaven and hell, and I think it's really, really good. Another show I want to recommend is Jane the Virgin. It is so funny, but it also has those heartbreaking, sad moments woven in throughout all that comedy, and I just think it's amazing. Okay, this next one is actually a show I haven't finished yet. I'm in the middle of watching it right now, and I love it. It's so interesting. It's like that show that you just have to binge because it keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's called The Umbrella Academy, and it's just really good. Definitely check it out. The next one is also a more recent watch of mine. It's called Sex Education. I think it's really funny and interesting, and it shows so many real issues that many teenagers might be dealing with, and I think it's such a great eye-opener. Another show I want to recommend is Alexa and Katie. It's really interesting because it's about cancer, but at the same time, it's not about cancer at all. It's about friendship and living life and what life's all about. So I definitely recommend that. Speaking of cancer shows, another one I want to recommend is Life Sentence. That was another really good show, and it was really interesting because it was about the girl who had cancer, but it also shows all the other characters' story points and point of views and how it was for them dealing with it. The next show I want to recommend is called Girl Boss. It's such an empowering show, and it's really funny as well, and it's just a cool idea, and I just like it. Another super recent binge of mine was Russian Doll, about a girl who wakes up to the same day over and over again every time she dies, and I don't want to spoil what happens, so I'm just going to leave it at that, but definitely a really good show. Flashback to when we were talking about cancer shows, next one I want to recommend is Sick Note, except this one's about someone faking cancer. So it's the total opposite, but it's really interesting and crazy and funny, and you should watch it. And last but not least, I want to recommend the show Maniac. It was so good. I loved it so much, but it was also so short. I wish there was more to it, but you guys should check it out. But that's all the shows I have for you guys today, so that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Happy VEDIM, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Mwah.